Hello everyone, this is Paper Cutter Radiation here. So this isn't going to be any rank match or tournament or anything. This is going to be a lesson. I know about a month or two ago I did say I was planning to do a lesson regarding how to play as a Sub-Zero with the Scorpion Kameo. So I think I know enough about Sub-Zero and Scorpion Kameo right now. I would say I'm confident enough to give a lesson. Again, this may not be 100% accurate. I'm going to try my best. I've been playing Mortal Kombat 1 competitively since launch. I did take a couple of small breaks, but I have been pretty much playing Mortal Kombat 1 since it launched back in September of 2023. So yeah, it has been over 6 months. I think I'm confident enough to give a little tutorial here. First of all, I'm going to what I'm going to do is I'm going to give unlimited. I want to have to keep resaying the screen, so I'm going to give us unlimited meters. Whoops, hold on. That was a little silly. Hold on. Now we hit save. Alright. So, first thing about Sub-Zero, if you want, and I just want to say, before I say anything else, I'm not showing how to grind with Sub-Zero and Scorpion. I've been playing as I said, I've been playing Mortal Kombat 1 competitively, so these are going to be tips and tricks on how to use them in a competitive set. I'm not going to be showing how to grind in the Mages mode or any other offline mode or hunting for treasure and all that, boss battles, quote unquote single player content they have. This tutorial is not for that. This is for competitive gameplay. So just to clarify. So the first thing I want to show you is Sub-Zero really only has one plus frame on block. So, in fact, why isn't the plus frame there? Hold on, I'm going to show the frame data for both. Alright. So, I'm going to get my opponent to block right now. So if you notice, Sub-Zero, if you press, this is just 4, right? All you're pressing is 4. That's going to be the only move on hit he has. That's going to be a plus frame. But it's useful. So it does put you at a frame advantage. Alright. Even the basic attacks, alright, they don't give you a frame advantage. So the thing about Sub-Zero is that because he really if the I play as Law, he has several frame advantage attacks, but Sub-Zero in this particular game is harder because he really only has one plus on block. So I'm going to get my opponent to stop. There we go. So I'm going to get my opponent to stop blocking. So Sub-Zero does have some good strings. This is 1, 2, 2, and this is safe on block. All right, this is also safe on block. It obviously puts you at a frame advantage, but safe on block. So, in fact, I'm going to show you. So, startup, right? 7. So, why don't I get my opponents to start to do this? Alright. Alright. See that? See, I have to be maybe, I don't even think I can, I gotta be super quick. Yeah, there's no way, because there's a little bit of a lag here, so I can't even do it down one opponent. The point is that these are both safe. Another thing that's safe, these are lows, these are safe. Alright? See, these are safe to use. If you're going against really tough players, alright, and you have a turn of attack, just use that. Alright? And watch this. Look, that's over 10% of your life gone. Over 10% of your life gone. Look, that's almost 15%. Alright. In fact, look, see, that's all those are over 10% of your life. And maybe if you can tie in a throw. Because here's the big thing about throws. I don't really have to talk much about this. Throws, There are two types of throws, okay? So, that's the next thing I'm going to use. This is, I would say this is fairly safe. Let me get Sub-Zero to stop doing that. I still don't know how to deactivate the recording, so... hold on. Alright. Alright, so... this is a throw. This is a regular throw. What you have to do, a front throw, is press forward and throw the throw button, whatever that is. On the PlayStation controller, it's L1. If you really... wait, how do you throw? I only use the macro setup. Well, I'll show you how to set it up. So, see, this is a throw because it's L1, right? So if you press forward and throw, it's a front throw. If you just press throw without any other input, no directional input, it's a back throw. So this is when it gets a little bit tricky. This is what I don't like about Mortal Kombat. Did not like this in Mortal Kombat 11. I don't like this here. If he's doing a front throw, you either have to do a 2 or a 4 to escape. Let me have to do this again. See? Press a 2 or a 4. Whoops. Let me try that again. See, you have to do it fast. Now, what if I do a 1 or a 3? Oops. Nope. Now, let's say I do a 1 and a 2 at the same time. Nope. You see, you only got one chance to break out of the throw. Now, here's when it gets really tricky, and in my opinion, this is why I don't like it. See, that's a back throw. To break out a back throw, you have to press 1 or 3. You see, here's the big difference, and I'm going to show you. See, I'm pressing 1. Come on, do the throw. Come on. I have to be fast, too. I didn't do that fast enough. Let me do that again. See? If I press 2... Alright, let me... Alright. See, if I press 2, even if I press 1 after that, it won't work. I only have one chance, and that's the thing. And if you notice, look, see, I'm gonna show you something that makes it look. You see, here's the thing. Street Fighter. I don't really play much Street Fighter, but I know for sure that I've been told by some of my friends that Street Fighter, there's only one throw and one throw break. Right? That's it. Okay? In Tekken, there are multiple throws and multiple throw breaks, but all the animations at least look different. The throw animations, you know, when someone's about to grab you, the arms look different, so you know which particular throw you need to break out of. But look at this. This is a back throw. This is a front throw. You see the difference? They look exactly the same. You see, this is why it's purely based off of luck. And that's what I don't like. But just because I don't like it doesn't mean I'm not going to make use of it. Because it's here, you know, you got to use it, otherwise the opponent's going to use it against you, and it is a legit attack. So again, do something safe like this. And if your opponent suddenly goes onto defensive, or your opponent, you know, maybe wait for a wake-up attack, okay, but if your opponent does not have a habit of doing that, depends on what your opponent usually does. Alright, this is why it's important to study opponents early on. Okay? You can either wait for a wake-up attack, or if you get a chance, look, watch this, look. 120. 111, so you do the math. That's nearly 1/4 of someone's entire life. And not to mention chip damage. If you can just get some chip damage, so it's one thing. So let's say you get chip damage here, and then you manage to land a whole string here. And then you land a throw here. That's going to be practically 1/4 of somebody's life already gone. I mean, that's not too shabby. And not to mention, you catch them with the low, do this. And of course, these are mids, right? These are mids. I'm actually going to get to this. When I get to explain the punishable stuff, what you got to be careful with. See this? This is safe. And look, that's 75. That's not bad. If you combine it with this, you know, land 2 throws, right? If let's say your opponent says, oh, he's going to throw a back throw, he just threw a front throw. You got to throw again? Look, 120. plus 120. That, again, that itself, just the throws alone, that's going to be a quarter of someone's life away. If you can land some of those strings, that's up to a third. It can even become half, and that's without any fancy combos or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? And plus, if you use the frame advantage, so what if only the... See, that's 50 points of damage. Even if you just get the low part, that's 50 points of damage. You see, some people might think, oh, you should get ideal combos, but, you know, that is true. I do agree, and I'm going to get to combos later. Don't get me wrong. I think combos are ideal. But if, let's say you have an opponent who's punishing every single thing about every single launcher. Because you see, Sub-Zero, the only real, without a Kameo, Sub-Zero's only launch move is punishable. So it's a double-edged sword with Sub-Zero. That's another thing that makes Sub-Zero tricky. But if you just stick with the safe stuff, your opponent is, you know, if you're too scared to use it against the opponent, that's normal. But again, this isn't a bad option. Just land little attacks, because little attacks eventually do add up. And if you're fast enough, and if you can grab throws, mess with your opponent's head, you know, your opponent only has 1,000 points in Mortal Kombat. And not to mention the fact, if you have a Scorpion, you can get some really good, I'm going to get to that, but you can get some really good, you know, combos off of the Scorpion Kameo. Alright? And, wait, I forgot to mention these. Look! These. Okay, this, you know, we want to make sure your opponent doesn't jump. But what if your opponent jumps? Whoops. Sorry, let me do that again. I don't mean to do that. That's what I meant to do. Watch. Boom! Look at that. That's 140 points. That's another. See? I mean, considering the fact your opponent only has 1,000 points. Alright? So, and look. Scorpion Kameo. If let's say your opponent is trying to pressure you, there's something you can use to bail yourself out. Look, Scorpion Kameo. Back Kameo button. Right there. You can keep your distance from your opponent. Alright? See, and also, if your opponent doesn't uppercut you, if your opponent's a little bit too defensive, or if your opponent is trying to down poke you after landing, you could do something like this. That's 146 points of damage. Okay? Or you could put your opponent at a friend disadvantage, and then... You know what I'm saying? Alright, so... I think I've talked enough about safe stuff. I'm going to show the particular red flags. Not red flags, but just the unsafe stuff. So this is unsafe. This is unsafe. Alright? So, show you what happens if you do this. See, it said punish. I want to show the frame again. So, come on. Alright, see, that's minus 12. That's minus 23. That's super punishable. So you gotta watch out when you do that. You could lead to a combo like this. I'll show you how to do that later. Alright? But that's super unsafe. Alright? It's good to catch your opponent off guard. It's okay to use unsafe attacks, but just don't make a habit of it. Especially, I mean, if your opponent's not doing anything about it and never punishes, keep doing it. But if your opponent regularly punishes you, definitely don't do it. If your opponent is punishing you sometimes, then, you know, do it sometimes. Again, green light, yellow light, red light strategy. Green light means your opponent's not punishing you. See, this would be green light. If let's say your opponent's not punishing, or if your opponent keeps getting caught up, he's not punishing, that's green light. Now, yellow light is if your opponent is kind of doing it sometimes not, so... See, that's yellow light. Then maybe do it sometimes. But red light is only do it once in a while to maybe try to catch your opponent by surprise. If your opponent is constantly getting good combos off of it, alright? And here's another thing. Green light and yellow light, it can even apply to if your opponent is not even landing ideal combos. Let's say your opponent just lands like, you know, a 100 point damage, you know, or just throwing. Yeah, it's still safer to use it. It's only if your opponent is really giving you big damage off the punish. Because if your opponent is not punishing this, you know, considering the combo you can get, you know, the reward definitely outweighs the risk. If your opponent is giving you a combo, though, then... One more, please. Sorry. So as I was saying, so yeah, if your opponent, if let's say our opponent keeps getting caught or is not doing anything, it's not even look. It's just if your opponent's just doing this, not even landing a combo, then keep doing it. It's okay to use it. All right. Maybe between yellow light, depending how much damage. Okay. Yellow light, green light. I mean, it's only if your opponent is really punishing you, then you should only use it rarely. All right. Again, yellow light, green light is pretty black and white. Green light means your opponent is doing very little to, to no damage. But if your opponent is doing moderate damage or sometimes getting a combo, then yellow light. Maybe use it sometimes. But if your opponent is constantly landing good combos off of a punishable attack, then only do it occasionally to try to surprise your opponent. Does it make sense? Okay, so I think I've talked enough about that. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to type in the Twitch chat. This is like a lesson, so I'm trying my best. I may not be perfect. So another thing about Sub-Zero is the Ice Clone. If your opponent is being a little bit overly defensive, Ice Clone, sure, there's scaling. You can catch your opponent and Ice, and of course it's going to give you a free combo. Another special move Sub-Zero has is Sub-Zero's Sub-Zero's special moves. Now, Sub-Zero got really nerfed. His Ice Clone got nerfed. It's so slow, it can easily be crushed by other projectiles. You gotta be very strategic using this. And Sub-Zero's Ice Clones and this is also good. You see, if your opponent has very little life left and you're keeping distance, this could be a good way to try to get, if your opponent's just standing there, to try to get little damage. Again, little chip damage can easily catch up to someone at the end. So I've talked about some of the safe stuff, right? And I've also talked about some of the unsafe stuff. One of the things you could do, though, is if, let's say, your opponent is... One of the things you could do is that if your opponent is trying... If you land something that is safe, and your opponent's trying to get something, then trying to start something big, or trying to throw, you could just do a down one. You see, down one gives you a slight freedom advantage. See, this is also punishable. If your opponent does this, boom, you do it fast enough. So it keeps you, that was a slight problem. I didn't really get irritated by it, but that was a slight problem Mortal Kombat 11 had, is that you couldn't punish this. So there's your opponent just keep doing this. But you can't really do that in Mortal Kombat 1 if your opponent's fast enough. Okay. So here's the thing, though. I think I'll go to now, so the question is, it's true that these small things to do are good, but the question is, sometimes you may need to get big combos, like, let's say you're low on life or something like that. It's only, what I'm trying to say is that, getting a combo is obviously ideal, and why do you want to miss an ideal opportunity? So, here's the thing about Sub-Zero, is that this is his only launcher without a Kameo. And it's also, I forgot to mention, it's the only launcher without having to use a enhanced meter. So if you can do this, but it's going to cost an enhanced meter. See the animation? I have it on infinite meter. Gotta work on that. See, that's the thing about Sub-Zero. That's one of the things that really makes him tricky. So if you do this, what happens if you do this? I'll show you what happens. So let's say I block this. This is what can potentially happen against a really good opponent. Well, hold on. I'll show you how much life you can lose. See, that's obviously not punchable. My bad. Hold on. Look how much life. That's nearly 400 points of damage. And if you get thrown, that's going to be more than half your life gone. And that's just off of one combo and a throw. That's going to be nasty. You see, this is why you got to be careful against really good opponents about doing these punishable attacks. But you see, it's a double-edged sword. It's kind of a catch-22. because it's Sub-Zero's only way to get a combo without any the help of a Kameo or enhanced meter, because that's not always going to be there forever. So here's what I advise about Sub-Zero to work around this. The thing about Sub-Zero is you always want to make sure you have at least one enhanced meter ready for you. If you're going against really tough opponents, have one meter available. Because if you do, like, see, this is obviously a 7-frame start. This is a fast attack. So if you can get a punish off of that, and you use, that's down, by the way, that's down, forward, that's down, then forward, or quarter circle front, for and enhance. That's how you do that. Or you can do this, because that's going to, see, to get that combo, that's Scorpion's front Kameo. Yeah, always make sure you have either a Scorpion, at least half of Scorpion's Kameo ready, or an enhanced move ready, because it would be sad if you missed like an ideal combo like this. You will try to get a launch. Okay? And of course, you can also do this, or you can do this. Alright, see, this is, I'm gonna get Sub-Zero to stop doing this. So I'll show you some combos now. So one of the things you can do is to get So one of the things you can do is you can get Sub-Zero to make use of the meters and Scorpion. You're just looking for a simple combo, you can do something like this. See, that's not bad. That's not too far from 300 points of damage. That's almost like 30% of someone's life. That's not bad. You know, not great, but not bad. But still, you get a combo off of it. See, and I say at least it's ideal to have more. And here's the big thing. Here's the big. Actually, you know what? I'll say this later. But what I'm trying to say though is that another thing you can do. See, if you just catch your opponent, cancel to a Scorpion Kameo, and then launch his, and then use the hammer to launch. Also, hammer is back too. It's just you only say it once. One of the sneaky things you can do with the hammer, though, is immediately cancel to the slide, which obviously is back forward. See, hammer back 2, and then back 2, and then hit forward, and then press X or 3. Okay, I'm talking PlayStation controller language, so. So here's some of the other ways. Now the question is how can you make Sub-Zero's combos more ideal? See, that's the big question. Well, I'm gonna get to that. So this is where the Scorpion Kameo, the use of Scorpion Kameo alone, can really pay off if you know how to use it right. I'm about to get to that. I think I've talked enough about the basics of Sub-Zero, and again, this is a Sub-Zero Scorpion lesson. This isn't like a basic, Mortal Kombat 1 lesson. I'm like now here assuming you at least somewhat know the details of Mortal Kombat 1, and there's also a tutorial there in the game itself. Again, this is just some tips on how to play a Sub-Zero Scorpion Kameo, because I figured that game is not, the game itself isn't really going to state these kind of details. So, because the game by the end of the day is really appealing to a casual audience. This stuff is a little bit more complicated, as I've been saying. So here's one way you can get good Kameo off the Scorpion. This is expensive, but it works. Alright? So, if let's say you have a full, in fact, I think to better demonstrate it, I'm actually going to go back to being, okay, good. So, again, do back. And the good thing about Sub-Zero being a little slow in this game, or Mortal Kombat 1 being slow, is that you have time to decide if you need to use the combos. So Scorpion has, so I'm going to show the select screen. So Scorpion has three kinds of fire breath. There's the regular fire breath, which is here, a mid fire breath, which is here, and then the far fire breath. Okay. So what you want to do is, see, that's a regular fire breath. That's not going to work. You want to do the far fire breath. You don't want to do the mid-fire breath. Oops. You see, you want to keep them in the distance. You want Scorpion. Remember, far fire breath is up in Kameo. So, see the combo you can get there? And then what you do is you go up, you press 1, 2, so up, 1, 2, and then forward, up 1, 2, alright, and then forward plus, whoops, got carried away. One thing and a half. Can't do it. So forward thinking, hold on. 1, 2, forward, 1, 2, and then cancel into the slide. Make sense? Alright. Again, if you have 2 Scorpion, what if you have 2 Scorpion cameos? Well, here's a way you can make better use of this. Ice Clone, remember, down, back, 1. I don't remember if I said that or not, but Ice Clone is down, back, 1. And then 2, 2, whoops, you gotta time it right. See, 2, 2, while you do the 2, 2, you press at the same time. So what do you want to do? I'm going to explain this. So as you go up, you hit the up and Scorpion Kameo to get the bar Kameo right before you hit 2-2. But again, considering this is safe, and if you hit your opponent, you know you're going to hit your opponent. You'll have time to activate Scorpion's Kameo. So again, this is a little expensive. It's going to use both of Scorpion's Kameo, but it's definitely worth it. Considering the fact you get... It's considering the fact you can get 300, you can get 1/3 of somebody's life away with a very safe attack like this. I mean, this is safe. So I highly recommend doing this. If you can even do that, I'm sure it's not safe, you can do the same thing and then just rinse and repeat. I don't have to show that again. But look, this is why this is how Scorpion's Kameo can really be useful. And sure, this is, I mean, it's very true that this is expensive, right? It uses all Scorpion's meter, but it works. Then you can do this if you want. Oh, what am I doing then? Maybe that wasn't the ideal one. Yeah, I better do this. So, yeah. Again, I'll show this again. So then 2, 1, and then down. So while you're in the air, it's so this is down, back 4. This is the enhanced. So you see, I use the enhanced down, back 4, and I'll show you again. 2, 1, down, back 4, and then slide. Again, that's pretty much 1/3 of someone's life, which is not bad. Grab a throw! How much is my damage that's going to be? That's going to be like, what, 450? 454? Not bad, that's very close. You just get some chip damage, half the life. Get another throw. More than half of someone's life gone. Okay. See, that's just one ideal combo you can use with Scorpion. So if let's say you happen to catch you happen to catch your opponent, or you punish your opponent, right? See, this is obviously safe, but if you catch your opponent and then do the... Oops, silly me. So look at this. Boom, boom, ooh. That's 358 points of damage. Grab a throw after that. That's nearly half the life. And look at this again. Again, use Scorpion meters, but meters charge fairly quickly. So it's definitely worth it. Again, if let's say you only have half of a meter, right? You could do something like this if you have a regular enhanced meter. Still 305 damage, not that bad. If they have no meters to burn. See, even that, not too shabby. Nearly 30% of someone's life away. But again, this is an example. If you want the optimals, it's always important to make sure you have a meter, either an enhanced meter or a excuse me, either an enhanced meter, all right, or a Kameo meter handy, all right. So obviously the most ideal way you can get a combo though, and this is the least expensive combos. This is obviously the least expensive combo, all right. It's risky, but this is the hammer. $385 points of damage. And if your opponent is closer to the back, I'll show you what you can actually get. The potential. Whoops. That's 401 points of damage. Look how much that is. Grab a throw. Way more than half of someone's life. 520 points. And then get some of those safe stuff. Alright. So even though that's unsafe, I mean, the payoff is worth it, especially against opponents who are not really punishing that. Use the green light or yellow light. But look the damage you can get. Right? Even if you don't have any Kameo meters, right? $329. Not bad. Alright. So on to the next combo. This is a bit tricky, and I still have trouble doing this, but remember how I was telling you about the oh wait, well, silly me, before I move on, I need to explain how you do this. I didn't explain. So again, so 1, 2, Scorpion Kameo front. Alright, let's try that again. Scorpion Kameo front, and again. 2, 2, hold on. 2, 2, and up Scorpion Kameo. Alright, as you rise up, press up Scorpion Kameo and 2, 2 at the same time. Again, it's hard. I don't know why I'm having trouble doing it right now. There we go. And then 2, 1, down, back, 4, enhanced, and then slide. Okay. Okay. So again, this is back 2, and then back 2 again, and then same thing. 2. So 2. Remember that was 2, 1, down, back, 4, enhanced, and then slide. Now, what if your opponent is close to the wall and you can get that extra combo to get a little bit extra damage? Well, I'm about to show you that. So, move one back, and then while you're in the air, I didn't get the hit, but while you're in the air, again, at the corner, you want to press 1, 3, 4. I know it's a bit tricky, but it definitely pays off. Ugh. Oh, it's not close to the wall enough. Okay, there should go. See the damage? That's a lot of points of damage. So now moving on to the next one. So remember how if you press back 2 and then immediately press 4, 3 to cancel into the slide. Alright, that's the opponent. I mean, this is still unsafe with your opponent, because remember, notice how it said that the next part is a high, which means that if your opponent blocks it and then ducks it, or even ducks it without blocking it, alright, your opponent can still punish you. So it's not 100% safe, but it's a good way. Not that many people do this. Not that many Sub-Zeros do this, so it's a very good way to catch your opponent off guard. So, you know, this is much easier. Much easier because it is a real mind game. It's not this. But what's even better is that, look, you can use an enhanced slide. And you know what happens if you use an enhanced slide? You can then activate the Scorpion Kameo. So all you have to do is cancel the slide using the enhanced, let go. then you get a good cameo, get a good combo off of that. See, considering how tricky that move is, it's not bad. If you want to, because it's very easy to catch your opponent off guard. Even good players, you can catch them off guard. Even really good advanced players. So this isn't such a bad move to use. Again, cancel there. Then 1-1. That's not gonna work. It's still over a quarter of someone's life away, so it's still not a bad option. Alright, so the big question though is I think, you know, I probably could do another lesson on this, but to be honest, I've kind of run out of things to say. I don't want to like drag on too long without really saying anything. This, after all, this is a lesson, not a ranked match, not a regular stream, so I might make a part 2. We'll see about that. I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to make a part 2 or not. But I'll just say, you know, I'm going to say kind of the obvious right now to conclude the lesson. The question is, how can you be safe with Sub-Zero? Well, like every other fighting game, be unpredictable. Like, do this, and then do this, right? Do this. Alright? That's for your opponent's mind. You know, try to use mids, alright? Maybe catch your opponent ducking, alright? Use a throw. One of the ways you could do is jump over your opponent, alright? Then land a camera, try to catch your opponent ducking, because it is an overhead, so you can catch, if you catch your opponent, it can work. One thing I want to check, though. Alright. Oh, I guess this is safe. Alright. Oh, it's a -2 on blocks, so it's interesting. That's that changed because Scorpion's Kameo used to be punishable. So yeah, I guess this is safe. All right. So yeah, again, just be unpredictable with Sub-Zero. And again, this particular thing was really just a lesson, you know, about Sub-Zero, not about Mortal Kombat itself, competitive Mortal Kombat. There are, you know, the game itself teaches you how to play. There are lots of other tutorials that teach you how to play, so I'm not going to go over those details. But yeah, what you can do is cancel with Sub-Zero, cancel the ice, or maybe if someone thinks you're, you know, someone knows you're going to be doing the overhead, catch them off guard with the slides and all that. Alright. Do something safe, you'll stick with the safe stuff. Alright. And one other thing is that this can easily be jumped over, alright? I'm not going to show it, but this can really easily be jumped over. Be careful when you do these. It still gets good chip damage, and obviously it's punishable if it's close, like a lot of our special moves, so. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it with Sub-Zero. I might make a part 2 describing more details about him, but yeah, I think I've said what there is to say. And one other thing, oh yeah, one other ideal move, before I conclude it. Let's see. See, be careful using the dive. Alright, you can use a dive to catch your opponent off guard, but it is punishable, so you gotta be careful. But I'll show you the reward that can happen. Wait. Is it a guaranteed? Wait. See, if you can land a dive, though, if you catch your opponent, like, if your opponent is kind of whiffing, or if you're, let's see, the dive is a mid, right? So if you're jumping and your opponent thinks, oh, maybe I can do an uppercut, do the dive to crush that, you can get a guaranteed combo there. So just a quick thing, but just know it is punishable, so I'm not going to complete that. Alright, well, now I know for sure this is going to be it with Sub-Zero. yeah, I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I don't know how accurate this was. I'm not 100% sure if this was perfect, but I did my best here. This is just based off what I've experienced Sub-Zero. I'm not 100% sure if I've covered everything, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope this, if you are wanting to play Sub-Zero with the Scorpion Kameo, this can, this can at least somewhat help. And one other thing, one of the good things about Scorpion Kameo, I said at the beginning, I'll say it one more time. If your opponent's pressuring you, if you want to get bailed out, back Scorpion Kameo. Alright? Keep saying it's the last thing, and I show one more thing. But yeah. So I just want to say you all have a good one, and thank you for your support. Might make a part 2, we'll see about that. So I definitely have some big plans for Tekken 8 coming up. I'm going to be doing more ranked matches, so I'm looking forward to doing that. I just want to say to all of you, you all have a good one. This is Paper Cut Radiation signing out. Goodbye.